Welcome back to First Take. Huge gains for two MVP candidates in the NBA last night. And look at the Hawks and doing what they're doing. 13 straight home wins for the Atlanta Hawks after taking down the Jason Tatum-less Celtics last night. Their second meeting in 4 days, but this time with a different result. Despite the loss, the Celtics remain the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference and are 4 games behind the Pistons for the top seed. Meanwhile, the Hot Hawks, 16-2 since February 22nd, the best record in the East during that span. They've played their way out of the play-in, currently 1.5 games ahead of the 76ers for the 6th seed. And so what's been the more surprising feat so far in this NBA season? Is it the Celtics holding that 2 seed in the East or the unexpected turnaround for the Atlanta Hawks this season? What do you think, Stephen A?
I'm going to go with the Hawks with this. I've always been a believer in Jaylen Brown. I believe that he was going to ascend and show the world that he can handle being number 1 while Jason Tatum was out. I didn't expect the number 2 seed, I'll give you that. But I expected the Boston Celtics to be decent because Derek White can play, because Peyton Pritchard can play, because Joe Mazzulla and his coaching staff can coach their butts off. So I expected something. I didn't expect this. Who the hell was thinking about the Atlanta Hawks? Let's call it what it is. For the most part, when you think about the history of the Atlanta Hawks, the only reason you thought about them most of the time once Dominique Wilkins retired was because you looked at them and said, okay, who the hell are they playing? And you went there to watch the visitors play, okay? And, of course, you love being in the ATL because you're looking for any excuse to be there. They know what I'm talking about. It's a lovely city. I'll leave it at that. Just a lovely city. Having said all of that, look at these brothers right here. 16-2, Eastern Conference best. The 3rd best record in the entire NBA since the All-Star break. Jalen Johnson, Big Perk, is averaging 23, 10, and 8. That's what he's averaging, all career highs. And the only other player in the NBA this season putting up those numbers is Jokic. That is it. Nickeil Alexander-Walker coming over from Minnesota, shooting 45% from three-point range. They're better without Trae Young. No shade on Trae Young, but they're just better without him. They've leaned on Jalen Johnson. He's the new star of the team. And look at this turnaround, because you like these numbers, Perk. 11.8 points per 100 possessions better since the All-Star break than they were before the break. The biggest post-break improvement for any NBA team in the last 27 years. That's what we're talking about with the Atlanta Hawks. And the last point I'll make is this. I ain't going to bet against my Knicks. But I'll tell you this, right here on national television, I've never rooted for the Toronto Raptors harder in my life because I'd rather the Knicks face Toronto than face the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. That's right, I'm saying it.
Well, number one, let me refresh your memory a little bit, right? You remember the Hawks even after Dominique retired because Trae Young actually put y'all out of the playoffs about 3 years ago.
I remember.
You remember
I remember that.
Took us out and
took them to the conference finals. I remember that. I remember that. You ain't had to bring that up.
Okay, so I wanted to refresh your memory. I wanted to refresh your memory. But let me say this. I got to give a lot of credit to Quinn Snyder and the Atlanta Hawks. Jalen Johnson is a rising young superstar. He will be an all-NBA player. He will make an all-NBA team this year. I believe Nickeil Alexander-Walker is up for most improved. But C.J. McCollum is a stud. But man, it's nothing more surprising than the Boston Celtics. Yes, I thought that they were going to be in the thick of things, meaning play-in or the 6th seed of the Eastern Conference. Forget being at the number 2 spot. Right now, they're the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference. Peyton Pritchard has risen his level of play to the point where he's in the conversation for most improved. Jaylen Brown is looking like, and arguably, one of the best, if not the best, two-way players in the game. And you know what's even more surprising about the Celtics? Is Jason Tatum, right? The return from the Achilles injury, right? And then playing at the level that he's playing at. He just had 32 the other night. And when you look at the makeup of this team, Joe Mazzulla up for Coach of the Year. Nobody had this team doing anything this season. And the fact that they're the favorites at this point of the season with only less than 7 or 6 games left, man, they're the biggest surprise to me.
There's a way to agree with both of you here. However, the Hawks did beat the Celtics yesterday, and they had just seen them 2 days prior. I know that they didn't have, I know Jason Tatum didn't play. I'm just pointing it out here. And the Hawks led by 21 in the fourth. Like, that's not something we're accustomed to see Celtics let happen. Thanks, Park. We'll see you a little bit later on. Coming up.
This was their 16th win in their last 18. I know. I got to know what the vibe's like, Lou. 16 of they're sixth in the East, which, again, nobody really predicted how this was all going to go. The Trae Young of it all, that was all very different. So are they, I don't want to word it this way because I know you're going to get mad at me. Was this a case of addition by subtraction? How about that? That's a nice way to say they're a little bit better now.
I'm not going to say they're better without Trae Young. I'm going to say they're different. Their identity is different, and it's working for them. It's working for this crew, right? Like, the ball is moving around. They're playing faster. They just have a different identity. When you had Trae Young, he had to have the ball in his hands for him to be effective and for him to be Trae Young, for him to be the special player that he is. With this group, not necessarily. They're winning by committee. They're winning by committee. It's a different guy every night. As you see last night, Dyson Daniels had a big night. Jalen Johnson has been a consistent and having a big night. Kongu, Big O, he's also having a big night. But a lot of these nights, you can lean on Nickeil Alexander-Walker to be one of those players. You can even lean on C.J. McCollum. They got a lot of different guys they can lean to. They can give them 20-plus on a given night, and they use that to their strengths. So I'm not going to say they're a better basketball team without Trae Young, because Trae Young accomplished a lot of things. I was part of the Eastern Conference Finals run with him, so I can't sit here and say that a lot of teams are better without him, but they are playing a different brand of basketball, and for the group that they have, it's definitely working for them. That's what I will say.
I like that.
I don't know if they're better or worse without Trae Young, but they are playing really, really good basketball right now. And like Lou said, it's almost like they have found that identity. They have found that defensive versatility. Guys are in different, maybe more opportunity than they had, or a different role than when a ball dominant all-world player like Trae Young is on the roster. Just by getting him off the team, it has just provided a different opportunity for these other guys, and they're taking advantage of it. And that's not a knock on Trae Young at all. I love Trae Young and think he's unbelievable. But now maybe Dyson Daniels can create more. Now we're absolutely playing through Jalen Johnson. Alexander Walker has been unbelievable. Probably the best signing, this offseason was him going there and just being so consistent, having a career year. C.J. McCollum, Lou, didn't you say like the fans of the city was off C.J. McCollum right when he got there? He's completely turned that around, and now he is that kind of comfort vet guy that can take big shots at the end and kind of close out games for them with such this young core. So I don't know if they're better or worse. I know they are probably the scariest team that's going to be in that 5, 6, 7, 8 seed for the Eastern Conference that none of those top dogs want to see in the first round or the second round. I'll tell you that.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it's more so of a different identity. I agree with Lou and I agree with Chandler. You can't take away what Trae Young has done for the Atlanta Hawks while he was there to take them to Eastern Conference Finals. This team hasn't been close to achieving that yet. So obviously we can't sit here and say they're a better team. Are they a different team? Absolutely. And I think it starts with the defensive end. The defensive versatility that this group shows now is way different than, what we saw when Trae Young was a part of that group. So I think that part alone changed the whole identity of this team. And credit to the Atlanta Hawks for figuring that out, finding this new identity, finding this new path to kind of, start on as far as what they want this team to look like. And then you add veteran guards like C.J. McCollum. You're able to get a very veteran-savvy guard in Nickeil Alexander. So a lot of things are falling into place for this group. And I think it starts with the defensive side of the ball. And I think that's been the biggest leap for this group.
This is going to be interesting. I'd love to know what Trae Young thinks from afar on this one. 6 games left for Atlanta. At Magic, at Nets, home against New York, Cavs, home against Cavs, then Miami. And this is, they are sitting in the 6th spot right now. They're neck and neck with Toronto, and they got Philly on their heels. Are they for sure right now, Lou? Are we looking 100% playoff spot?
Yeah, like I said yesterday about OKC, I'm going to make the same case for Atlanta. When you got a team that's 18 out of their last 20, in wins, it really don't matter who's on the schedule. I'm the better team. I feel like I'm the better team going into it. I'm not looking at any of these teams like, man, I got to really go out and win this game. I'm just going to continue to play the way I've been playing, do the things that's gotten me to this position, and I should have an opportunity to win a basketball game. If I'm the Atlanta Hawks, that's how I'm looking at it. And so, yes, I absolutely think they're going to be a solidified playoff team, and I think they're going to be a disruptive playoff team. Whoever they get in that third place, there's not going to be a walk in the park. And even if something crazy happens and they slide back into the play-in, they're going to win that one game and they're going to put themselves back in a position to be disruptive again. And let's let that mess around and be the Boston Celtics. If they just come off a win 2 weeks ago and they end up in a playoff position, obviously you got to add Jason Tatum to that fold, and Jaylen Brown is going to be better than 9 for 29 on any other given night. But I like my chances. I like the matchup. So if I'm the Atlanta Hawks, I got extreme confidence. I don't care whether it's 6 or whether it's 7. As long as I get an opportunity to get in, I'm going to be disruptive no matter what.
Yeah, the way they're playing right now, I don't care the remaining schedule. And if I'm them, I don't care who we draw first round. Like if I'm Coach Snyder, like Lou just said, I am preaching. If we do what we have been doing, it does not matter who we play. We control our own destiny, and we can beat anybody in this league. And they've proven that the last month. They've been the hottest team in the NBA, not just the Eastern Conference, and the entire NBA. So they're peaking right now at the right moment, and it's all about momentum and positive vibes going into playoffs. And this team has the highest vibes of all because they are clicking on all cylinders right now. They're healthy, and they're going to be a hard out whoever unfortunately matches up with them in that first round.
Whew, we're going to get Knicks Hawks round 1. It's going to be great.
Without Trae Young, I don't know. Somebody got to be the villain. Somebody got to piss somebody in New York off.
Or just all of Atlanta. The entire Hawks team will just be hated, which, again, that works. Guys, quick break. On the other side.